Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea and today we are talking about the Sephora Savings Event and the products that honestly I feel are absolutely worth your buy at Sephora. Now, I don't have a ton of products here because the ones that I'm sharing with you, I have used them countless times throughout this year. They literally have been my go-to. These are the products that I travel with. And in all honesty, it's not even the most brand new stuff. It's tried and true, absolutely amazing products. Some of these products are new to the market, but some of these are just old time staples that I don't want you to forget. So if you want to see what you actually need to add to cart, keep watching this video. But before we get into this video, I just want to say thank you so much for taking some time and spending it with me today. If you are new, I would love for you to click that red subscribe button, join the Glam Girl Squad because we'd love to have you. The button may not be red anymore. Either way, click the subscribe button and join the Glam Girl Squad. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for deciding to constantly support my channel, riding hard with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. So let's get right into this video. Now we know the Sephora Savings Event is our time to shop. If you are a Rouge member, you are able to start shopping the Savings Event on Friday, October 31st. Let's do a little trick-or-treating at Sephora. So it's running from October 31st until November the 10th. I'll have the dates down below as to which each status will be able to shop the savings event. If you are Rouge, you're able to save 20%, VIB is 15%, and then Beauty Insider is 10%. Remember, you are able to save a total of 30% off all Sephora collection, no matter what status of Sephora member you are. So there's some definite staples in Sephora collection. I have mentioned some of my favorites in previous videos. And if you want more recommendations, I would definitely check out my previous Sephora recommendations videos because if I really enjoyed it, I probably still enjoy it. Okay. And one last thing, if you're going to shop the savings event, I would love for you to consider supporting my channel and shopping through my links below. I always say during the Sephora Savings Event, this is such a great time for content creators like me to earn a little bit more of a commission because you're already shopping the savings event. So whether or not you shop through my links, support your favorite creators during this time. It really means so much to us and it allows us to continue to do what we love and share amazing and great products with you. So if you don't mind, open up the description box, take a look at my links, click on them, and support your girl. If you don't want to shop through my links, that's totally fine. But, you know, my dad always said, if you don't ask, you never know. So here's me asking. Now, let's start off with some skincare. So I have been on a new journey of wanting to use products just in my everyday life that contain less toxins. Now, I'm not going to be toxic free. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I am all about making small changes here and there because, you know, every little bit counts. So I've been kind of turning over my skincare, looking for products that are very much clean, but very much effective. So the first product I want to talk about that I have really been enjoying is going to be the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. This is nothing new to the market. It tends to be a lot of people's favorites. And they sent over this spray earlier this year. And I was like, let me finally give it a try and like really try it because I've tried, I think I purchased like a mini size before. I tried it, but I don't really think I took time to really understand it. I really like this stuff. I like to use it after I do my skincare routine, especially if I'm not wearing makeup, just to add a nice little glow and hydration to the skin. It's a beauty elixir that's going to smooth the skin and then add a glowing complexion to it. So I really have been enjoying using this. I would suggest picking this up if you like to add a hydrating mist at the end of your skincare or before you start your makeup. This is a really good one to consider. I received the Pharmacy. This is the Honey Halo Moisturizer. So once again, looking for products that are going to be actually clean because they may say clean, but it doesn't mean that they still don't contain some chemicals in them that are probably not best just for the body in general. This one rated really well. It's an app that I use called Yuka. And this rated extremely high. This is an ultra hydrating ceramide moisturizer. It makes the skin feel so good. So this is what it looks like. It's a bit of a thicker formulation, but it's not so thick that I don't feel comfortable using this in the day or under makeup. So when I've used this before, I will use it at night, but honestly, I was using it day and night. It absorbs very quickly into the skin, but it doesn't absorb so quickly to where you feel like, did I even put anything on? And the glow that it leaves is really beautiful. It's not overly done, but it's very much present on the skin. I feel like any skin type could use this moisturizer. If you had oily skin, I don't feel like this would be too oily for your skin. And it would work great for people who have I have more normal skin or drier skin. So I would highly check out this moisturizer, especially if you are in the market for a newer moisturizer. And on that same note with Pharmacy, their green cleansing balm is the only cleansing balm that I'm using. Once again, very clean ingredients, but it melts all of the makeup off, no matter if I'm using my tubing mascara, which generally you can only get tubing mascara off with warm water. This actually starts the melting process for that. My waterproof makeup, like any makeup that needs to be tackled, this particular cleansing balm does that. But what I really like about it is that it doesn't strip the skin. So when I'm done taking off my makeup, my skin actually feels nice and hydrated. So it really helps to prevent my skin from feeling dry and just kind of like flaky because I'm stripping the skin too much when I'm trying to cleanse it. So this is my go-to makeup remover. I have it in a travel size. And this is not my first time using it. I used to use it a lot some years ago. So when Pharmacy sent it over, I was like, yes, I remember this. And I actually really enjoyed it years ago. So I'm really happy to have it now. And then especially knowing now that it actually is a really great clean product. I keep literally dropping the spatula. Now that I know that this is a truly clean product. Moving on to a little bit of body care. So Luna Daily, let me tell you something. You know, we never should have an excuse to be funky, okay? That's just what I believe. There's too many products out there to prevent that. But a really great clean product that I use every day that I go to the gym, and honestly, even if I don't go to the gym, is going to be the Everywhere Spray from Luna Daily. So what I love about this is that A, it's going to be a hydrating type of Everywhere Spray. You can use it all over the body, that's B. And then C, you can use it in your intimate areas and it doesn't throw off your pH. So it's a pH balanced type of product. And what's really cool is that you can either spray this all over the body, like I sometimes will spray it on the back of the neck after I work out to help cool my body down, or before my workout, I'll spray it under my armpits, and then I can take my toilet paper, spray the toilet paper, and make me a wipe. Yes, and it works perfectly. And it's like the perfect type of wetness to the toilet paper because it doesn't make the toilet paper too wet to where it starts to break down, but it makes it wet enough to where cleansing is actually more comfortable than just dealing with dry toilet paper. This stuff is amazing. It smells good, but it doesn't irritate my skin no matter where I use it. I just saw that they have a mini travel set at Sephora that comes with 3 of their minis. You best believe I will be picking it up because I need one everywhere. This one stays in my gym bag, but I want one for my purse. This is amazing. Like, it's probably one of my favorite products that I have tried that's offered at Sephora this entire year. And it's a body care product, but it works so well. And it, like I said, it really helps to keep me clean and fresh throughout the day, no matter where I'm going. So highly recommend this product. Okay, let's move on to the makeup. So there was a few foundations that came out this year, right? Right. The only 2 ones that I feel are worth talking about are going to be the foundation that I'm wearing, and this is going to be the Gucci Glow Skin Tint, okay? So the shade that I have is Medium Deep 47, and I am so surprised that even though this is a skin tint, she's got coverage, okay? She also has a really beautiful, like natural glowy finish. Not glowy in the sense of like, I look like a grease ball. It's also not too emollient on the skin. Like I feel like there's properties within the skin tint that actually adhere to the skin and it stays. because I've worn this skin tint without setting it with powder, and your girl stays in place. Like, I just added a setting spray on top, and she's like, I'm good. I'm situated and I'm comfortable. I love how it doesn't accentuate any of the texture on my skin because, honey child, my skin has been suffering and we've been dealing with the breakouts and all the things. And like, it still sits really nice on top of all of my texture. It's just really beautiful, and she lasts all through the day. Like, I was so taken aback when I first tried this. I was like, I can't believe this is a skin tint. It's beautiful, allows the skin to breathe. I can't really say enough about it. It's just so good. And then the other type of foundation I would recommend would be Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation. So I wear the shade NY11. I also use the shade NY11 in the concealer when I want a more, like a slightly brighter hint to the skin. So if you know your shade of concealer and you like that shade and you want just the complementary foundation shade, get that same shade in the foundation. This foundation looks so beautiful on the skin. I also think it's lightweight and it gives us a nice solid medium coverage. The Gucci Glow skin tint, I would say, gives us light to light medium coverage. Forgot to mention that. I feel like with this foundation, you don't need a lot because I feel like if you add too much of it, it can look a little heavy on the skin. So I would suggest going in with a smaller amount of this foundation. What I do is I will add like a pump and a half on the back of my hand. Then I'll take my brush and blend it on the back of the brush and kind of really work it into the bristles. And then I tap and blend it into the skin. That's kind of how I do all of my foundations. And that way I can control how much I'm actually putting on the face. But when you put the right amount, which you don't really need a lot, she looks so beautiful on the skin, really blurring. It doesn't accentuate any of my texture either. And I think it's just so beautiful. I have had other foundations I've loved this year, but none of them are new. I'm just going to throw out a couple honorable mentions. Armani Luminous Silk will always be like top tier #1 foundation. She probably is my #1 foundation. I wear the shade 8.75. Like, I just never have to wonder how great my skin's going to look with this foundation. It always does. And then my absolute #2 favorite foundation, Pat McGrath's Sublime Perfection Foundation. I wear the shade M17. And this is like another just, I don't ever have to think or wonder how my skin is going to look with this. It just looks fantastic. I can literally put a light layer of this foundation on and be out the door and add nothing else to my face. And it looks divine. Or I could glam her up. Like, it's just one of the best foundations on the market, in my opinion. Okay, now for me, this was the year for concealers for me because typically I honed in on a couple of concealers. I'm a foundation junkie. Concealers, I got my standard like 2 or 3 and I'm good. But I fell in love with some other concealers this year and I'm really happy about those. So this is one that I shared in the Sephora Savings Event video back in the spring. Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer is the best concealer on the market. It is full coverage. However, she's breathable. She's also kind of lightweight as well, even though the coverage is like y'all see my, actually y'all probably don't see my freckles, but you know, I have very pigmented freckles, and honey, this concealer covers it up with no issue, but I feel like it doesn't ever look cakey or heavy on the skin. So when I want to just add like a slight brightening to the skin, I go in with shade NY11, and then if I really want to glam up the face and have like a brighter under eye, and T-Zone YP8 is my go-to shade. I'm telling you, you have never met a better concealer than this one. And that is the truth. Now, the second runner-up that is such a close second, and the only reason why it's a close second is because she just came out. This LYS Beauty Bright Start Concealer. Honey child. When I say this concealer gives me all the life, and like I could actually see it being my #1 concealer the more I have it. Oh my gosh. So the brand sent this to me. I was so excited because their OG concealer is fire. And I think it's actually on sale. So if you want to try this one, I think you can get it for like $13. It's still an amazing concealer. I wear shade TN3, okay? Okay. So I was like, okay, give us the glow because this one is going to really brighten the under eye, but add like a nice little glow. It's a little more hydrating, I would say, than their OG concealer. This one gives us like a nice soft matte finish to the skin. Still recommended too. So they sent over TN3 and then TN6. All right, here's the things that I love about this concealer. A, the packaging. Standard triangular shape, very true to the brand. Now, I hate me a sponge tip applicator. When I say hate me a sponge tip applicator. They get gunky, they get messy, and like, I feel like I waste more product because product is like stored within the sponge tip, right? Okay, you can take this off. This is where I was sold. This is where I initially was sold with the concealer. And this is literally what I do. The only reason why I have something on my sponge tip is because, you know, it actually accidentally tapped the concealer. However, the sponge tip is replaceable. So if you do want to use a sponge tip, you can actually purchase more of the sponge tips. I think that's on their website. And I think that's also amazing too. So you can twist up the product, pour it out on your hand, and that's what I do. So I'm like, I just love a brand that's intuitive and thinks about all the people. LYS does that. So when I first got this, I was like, you know, I just want to try this all over the face because TN6 is a shade that I wear in their stick foundation. When I put this on my skin, I had to like catch my breath. I could not believe how beautiful this was as a foundation and how beautiful it was as a concealer. The skin is bright. It's also very hydrating in the look of this skin. Doesn't look greasy, doesn't look oily, and it doesn't look excessively dewy at the end of the day. It just keeps the skin looking hydrated. I'm so here for this. It's smooth. It stays in place. I mean, I still set my concealer. You know, I don't believe that a concealer is absolutely creaseless, but it doesn't move and settle into the creases even after setting. Like, she stays in place. Every time I wear this concealer, I'm just like, this is all I need in my life. So you have to try this. Like, if you don't try any other concealers, these are the two that you have to try. And you also have to try this next concealer I'm going to tell you about, because this one is the one that I would say this is probably my most pleasantly surprised concealer, because I have had this concealer, number one, at least for about 1.5 years now. I've heard people rave about it time and time again. And I don't know. I just, like I said, I just stick to my tried and true concealers. And then this year, I think it was Andrea Renee was raving about it. And I said, okay, let me just give this a try. Why did I wait so long? Y'all probably already love it and know about this too. Tower 28 concealer. She's amazing. So this is more like a serum-like concealer. I think this is perfect for every day because we get nice, like, light to medium. Well, I would say medium coverage, not light, because she got some coverage too. She's also really buildable. So if you wanted to go like a little more full coverage with this one, I feel like you actually can. So this is the concealer that I was riding hard with before the LYS Beauty Concealer launch. Like, it was the only concealer I was using for months. Perfect for everyday wear, but you can also glam it up if you want to. Leaves the under eye area so nice and hydrated. And because it has more of like a serum-like formula, it also feels like skincare and makeup all in one. But it actually works. So the shades that I wear when I want like kind of like an everyday glam is going to be OC. If I want more of like a brighter under eye, then I go with NOHO. These three concealers, they're the ones that you need, hands down. Okay, let's move on to powder. So powders, none of the powders I'm talking about are new. They're all OG. So I'm going to kind of run through these because you've all heard about them. You might even love them too. But I just feel like of all the powders that are sold at Sephora, these are ones that I really feel if you try them, you're not going to be disappointed at all. Okay, Makeup by Mario's loose powder. I wear the shade Neutral Peach 3. This powder was, I think this powder was maybe the only powder I used like halfway through last year. I recently started picking it up again. What's also really cool about it is that it rates excellent on the Yuka app. So this one is really formulated without any major toxins. It's really a true clean type of powder. Looks so flawless under the eyes, and it just blurs the skin so much. So still loving this powder. The LYS Beauty loose powder, I wear the shade Resilience, which is their translucent shade. Once again, lightweight, blurs the skin like nobody's business, and looks so beautiful. There's a theme here. Okay, those are my 2 loose powder recommendations. Now for pressed powder, we're going to go back to OG Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I recently added both of these back to my collection. I like to use shade 1 to brighten the T-zone. And then I'll use shade 2 all over, like, you know, the perimeter of my face. Charlotte Tilbury's pressed powder also is toxic free, or I should say rates very well in terms of the toxins that it doesn't contain. This was the first powder that when I tried it, I was like, oh, I don't have to look like a cakey flat powder face. Like this one, tried and true. So happy to have it back in my collection. And then the LYS Beauty pressed powder, I actually think is probably the best pressed powder on the market. This gives you the most poreless and refined look to the skin. This is also one of those powders that after you've gone throughout your day and you want to kind of touch up with powder, it's not going to make you look cakey. It's not going to like almost make your powder look like, I mean, your foundation look darker because like your oils have started to come through and then you're adding more powder on top. Charlotte Tilbury does that as well, doesn't do that as well. Like these are 2 powders that if you like to touch up, I would suggest keeping these on you because they are going to make your skin look like you literally just applied your makeup. So I have the LYS Beauty one in 2 shades too. This is shade Ambition, which is the medium shade. I use this on the perimeter of the face. And then I have this shade Resilient in the pressed powder, which I can't find, but it's basically the translucent shade, and that's what I use for my T-zone. So I'll go in with the loose powder to initially set my concealer, and then if I'm going full glam and I want like a really poreless T-zone, that's when I'll go in with the pressed powder afterwards. Try it and thank me later. Okay, lastly, LYS Beauty finishing powders. You guys, I have literally not stopped using these finishing powders since they launched. Every time I do my makeup, I use all 3 of these. I have 4 shades, but I use a minimum of 3 every time I do my makeup. It's like it is the finishing powder that I feel really adds like the life, the blur, and the final touches of smoothness to the skin. So I actually, in terms of bronzer, I really haven't been using, well, I have been using 1 powder bronzer, but the majority of the year, the powder bronzer that I've been using has been their finishing powder in the shade Tan, which is this shade here, or the shade Dark, which is a little darker than this. It just, like I'm wearing tan right now, and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. And then I'll go in with the shade Medium, this shade right here, and I'll dust it over the cheek area to kind of blend in the powder blush and really smooth things out. And then I go in with the shade Light, and that's what I use for my T-zone. Now, if you are like my shade or deeper, this also can work as a very subtle highlight to the skin. So you probably would see like the highlighter effect more so on a deeper, richer complexion. But on me, it adds such life to the T-zone. And then if I want like the most subtle highlight, this is what I'll just sweep across the cheeks without adding highlight. Just trust me on this. Give them a try. Seriously, give them a try. All right, let's move on to bronzer and blush. So if I'm not using the LYS Beauty finishing powder for my bronzer, the bronzer that I have been loving all year, this is nothing new. It's just that good. The YSL bronzer. I use the shade 05. It is blurring. I love this tone of brown. It's got a reddish hue, so it worked beautifully during the summer, but it's also not too red that it doesn't go with the looks that I prefer in the fall. Like I like more kind of cooler toned looks, and I like a more neutral blush. So I will admit I don't reach for this one as much in the fall and winter, but I will still use it because it's just so beautiful, just so smoothing to the skin. And then in terms of cream bronzer, the LYS Beauty cream bronzer stick. You guys, LYS Beauty is just killing it, like legitimately killing it. And these are the products I use all the time. So I have to share them with you all. I don't want y'all to think I'm a broken record here with just one brand. I have other brands in here. They're just like, these products are just that good. And also they make makeup application faster, quicker, and better because I don't have to worry about like cleaning up the product because I used too much or like I didn't apply it right. Like the application process with their products is just so seamless. So if I need to get my makeup done very quickly, these are the products that I reach for because I don't have to think about it. I just know they're going to look good once I'm done applying it. So the cream bronzer stick I use in the shade Courage, like it's gone viral so many times and it's still going viral. It is just the easiest cream product you will use, whether you are used to using cream products or not. It's just amazing. It's very much pigmented. So what I always recommend doing is either taking some of the bronzer and putting it on the back of your hand, tapping your brush into it, and then applying it to the face. Or a lot of times, like you saw in the video, I'll take my brush and like tap it through on the product and then put it on the face. And either one of those ways will allow you to control it because it is very pigmented. If you apply too much, just keep blending. But, you know, to avoid like the shock of like, oh my gosh, I've applied too much, those are ways that I would recommend applying it. And then I would also recommend, if you haven't tried their cream blush and the cream highlighter, I would highly recommend trying them as well. If you love the cream bronzer, you will love the cream blushes and the cream highlighters. I saw that LYS Beauty has a little mini set at Sephora that has the cream bronzer and the cream highlighter in Brave. Brave is absolutely my favorite shade. I'm going to swatch it for you guys real quick. It is so pretty. It works for, it's like their universal shade. No matter what complexion you are, it's going to look beautiful. Go and look the highlighter up and you can see it on multiple shades. It's stunning, okay? So basically, LYS Beauty, try whatever you want from the brand and I would recommend it. They really make some amazing products. All right, if you want a powder blush, I have truly been loving the newer shades from Patrick Ta. So I'm wearing today both the cream and powder of She Goes to the Gym. And when I bought this, I was like, I'm literally buying this because I go to the gym. I love it. But I really do like the formulation too. I've owned quite a few of these blush duos, so I really do recommend any shade that you might find beautiful. My go-to shade before this one was She's So LA. Such a beautiful neutral blush shade. I also really have been enjoying the She Left Me on Red. This one, I wasn't too sure how much wear I would get out of it because it's a really like pretty bright red, but it looks so beautiful on the skin. And I've been actually reaching for this way more than I thought I would. So I would recommend checking them out, especially if you've never tried them. They're very great formulas, extremely pigmented, but you also can control the pigmentation. And then the YSL blushes, just really beautiful pigmented blushes. I really enjoy the shades that they have in these. And I was reaching for these a lot like spring through summer. Not that they're not good and that's why I stopped using them as often. I'm just thinking of like over the year what products I've been reaching for a lot, and these blushes were definitely it. And then lastly, there's a set of these Kosas baked blushes. So good. Kosas makes some really great products as well, and a lot of their products are truly like made and formulated with very few to no toxins. So really beautiful, very pigmented blushes for sure. And Say Beauty came out with some baked blushes. Hold on, let me get them real quick. These are really beautiful as well. So I would say the difference between the Say Beauty baked blushes and the Kosas baked blushes are that the Say Beauty ones are not, when I say they're not as pigmented, they're just a little less pigmented, but not in a bad way. So if you're someone who likes more of like a touch of blush, you don't want something extremely pigmented, you might like the Save formula better than the Kosas formula. The Kosas formula, it's not that you can't go in with a little bit and just add like a flush of it onto the cheeks, but because they are really pigmented, if you're someone who's like me and like you're just naturally heavy handed, you have to be really cognizant of like, I need like a tap, like a literal like stick one bristle of the brush in and then apply it that way. So if you're someone who's like, I don't want to really think about all that, then I would say might be your preferred choice. But if you're really interested in trying their blushes, the trio, I think it's like $32 for all three of them, which is a really great deal. And you get like this really pretty coral shade. You've got like a nice kind of peachy shade, and then more of like this fuchsia shade here. So, I mean, blushes, there's some really beautiful blushes out there. These are the ones that, like I said, I've been reaching for throughout the year. Okay, highlight. There's two. Because honestly, can you believe, if you've been following me for like a very long time, you know I love me some glow. This year, I really honed into like natural, non-glowy makeup looks, and I'm still shocked to hear myself say that. So highlighter was not really a part of my everyday makeup routine, but I have, one other blush recommendation, Pat McGrath. I mean, I've fallen back in love with a lot of my Pat McGrath products, and the blushes are just so beautiful, stunning, blurring, like all the things. Very pigmented as well. If you haven't tried Pat McGrath's blushes, give them a try. Okay, so going back to my highlighters, Pat McGrath highlighters, give them a try. This one is Nude Opal. This is probably like top 2 favorite shades from Pat McGrath. I don't know if this particular shade is sold at Sephora, but there are some shades of there are some highlighters from Pat McGrath that are sold at Sephora. I have some of them, and they're really beautiful, very pigmented, and like they make the skin just look wet almost when you apply them. So this is one that I have been reaching for when I want to wear highlighter. And then another oldie but goodie. Like, she's really oldie but goodie. Benefit highlighter in Cookie. Do y'all remember this one? Do you remember when this is all we could talk about in highlighters? I know. This is actually the highlighter that I'm wearing today, and Benefit sent it over recently, and I was like, this was a highlighter that I remember wanting so bad, and then I finally got it, and I was like, yeah, I see why people love it. It's just so good. It's so like iridescent on the skin in like a good way. It looks wet on the skin too. You don't need a lot at all. She's very pigmented. And I love to wear this when I have like either cooler tone looks, or if the tone of my makeup is more warm. I just like mixing cool and warm colors together. So this will be like more of a cooler toned, kind of like a little bit of an icy highlighter to kind of like neutralize the warmth of my makeup look. So pretty. Benefit also sent over one of their new holiday launches, and so this is called the Game on Glow palette. So if you enjoyed their Hoola bronzer, their blushes, this one comes with the Cookie highlighter, which I think is really, really nice. This is the original shade of the bronzer, and then the blush shade is called Warm Seashell. And then we have the Cookie highlighter. So if you like Benefit products and you might want to try all three of them, I think this is a good palette to, give it a try. Eyes. Like I said earlier, I have been going for the matte looks all year. And I'll tell y'all the one product that made me actually want to put a shimmer on my eye. And you might be surprised as to what it is. So, like I said, the majority of this year, I've only been wearing matte eye looks, and it's crazy for me to even say that. And the products that have been doing it for me have been these Makeup by Mario's liquid eyeshadows. So I started off this eye look today with my favorite shade called Chestnut. This is literally like my skin tone with but just like a shade, like a hint deeper than my skin tone. So when I wear this liquid eyeshadow all over the eyes, it does, like, it makes it look like I put something on my eyes, but in the very most subtle way. And then my other favorite shades are going to be Espresso and the shade called Sienna. You literally take the wand from the product, apply it on the eye, take a brush, tap, 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 blend it. We're done. It dries, stays in place, does not budge, does not crease, and literally eye look is done. If I want to use multiples of these shades, then I'll put them on the back of my hand so I can stick my brush in the product and then, like, you know, do a little something else. But a lot of times when I wear these, it's usually just one of them because I want something quick, but I want the eye look to look like I put forth more effort than I actually did. The other eyeshadow palette that I have been reaching for so much has been the Makeup by Mario Neutrals palette. So once again, every shade that I really would need if I want to go for more of like a neutral to cooler matte eye look. I really enjoy the formulation of this palette. And I've been traveling a lot this year. That's why I haven't been on here for a while. And this is perfect. It is like, look at it. So travel friendly. Formulation is solid. Gets the job done. Always happy with how my eye looks turn out when I use this. So the actual palette that made me go like, maybe I want to start using shimmer again. And this product just came out. So if you think about this whole year, this is the product that actually made me want to put a little shimmer on my eye. And honey, this Pat McGrath Gilded Nirvana eyeshadow palette. Honey, child. Pat McGrath did her big one when she made this. Now, this does look like the eyeshadow palette that she came out with a few years ago. It was in the red cardboard packaging. I'll give it to you. It does look similar. But what sold me on this palette, honestly, was the size. Once again, I have been traveling and I need stuff that is travel friendly. But all of the shades just look so pretty. These are shades that you really could also have one and done eye looks with them because all of the shades, except for this one, this is more of like a softer, like a soft matte type of formula. All of the rest of them are very multi-dimensional. So you really could like take one, blend it over the eyelid and be done. You definitely get more pigmentation if you use your finger. Or I would recommend going in with a synthetic makeup brush or a goat-haired natural brush to try to get the most pigment out of these. But if you can use your finger, use your finger. Oh my God. Oh my God. Every look that I create with this, I'm absolutely in love. And then the other one that I think you need, I mean, we've had eyeshadow palettes come out this year. I just really think you need the ones I told you about. You can get every look you want with them. Danessa Myricks, Lightwork 7. Yep, and yep. The Color Stories, this is my favorite one. Not surprising here because we've got neutrals, we've got greens, we have like burnt oranges in here, and it's great for this time of year. Of course, I love this one. I still love pinky-based eyeshadow looks. And then this is such a beautiful, cooler toned color story. And I love sapphire blue. That's my birthstone. And so like when I saw this blue, I was like, I'm already in love. This is so amazing. So when I traveled twice this month and I took Lightwork 7 with me, Pat McGrath, Gilded Nirvana, and then Makeup by Mario. I was set. I didn't need anything else. And I just think this is all you need. Okay. In terms of eye pencils, Makeup Forever Artist Pencils will forever be my go-to recommendation for you guys. I love every bit of them. They are so pigmented. They stay in place on the eyes. You can use them on the eyes or on the lips. And I love the shades that they create in them. So Makeup Forever's always so amazing. They send over these pencils to me anytime that they are coming out with mailers. So you can get, I just threw the packaging away. But one of their holiday sets is a mini set where you can get 5 of these pencils. I think for like $25. My absolute favorite shade ever, Limitless Brown. That's the shade that I use that is the shade that I have on my lips in terms of my lip liner. Well, one of the shades. On my eyes, I use the shade Black. I have so many other shades. There are some shades I've purchased myself in addition to Makeup Forever sending. And then for my lip, like the lip combo that I have here, the other shade that I use is called, what is this? Endless Cacao. This is such a beautiful, cooler tone brown. So I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand so you can see. Because for tan complexions, it's really hard sometimes to find a cooler toned lip liner that doesn't make you look totally ashy. So this is Endless Cacao. Oh, I will wear this. When I say it by itself, I'm always going to wear a gloss with it or a lipstick just to help, like, you know, even it out. But it is such a beautiful cooler tone brown. And then Limitless Brown, anytime I'm wearing a brown eyeliner, it's going to be Limitless Brown. Like, there's no question asked. This is the brown that I'm going to wear. I love that it's brown, but it has a little bit of a reddish hue. But it's not too red. It's like, she's so beautiful. And then the black is just extremely pigmented. So it's part of the eye look that I'm wearing today. And you just really can't go wrong with it. Anytime I'm reaching for a pencil, it's probably going to be one from Makeup Forever. And for brows, Benefit Cosmetics, Precisely My Brow. Absolutely love it. I wear shades 5 and 6. So I would say 5 would be the shade that I wear if I want my brows to be a bit more brown. 6 is actually what I'm wearing right now. I like that it gives me a little bit of a cooler toned black look to the brow, but it's not too harsh. But I love how fine the tip is. It works well over my brow gel because I apply my brow gel first, let it sit and marinate, and then I like to fill in my brows after the fact. And this brow pencil is pigmented enough to not be caught up in the gel, and it stays in place, and I absolutely love it. My go-to brow gel is the Refi Brow Gel. This is the only brow gel I've been using consistently this year. It's just really great. Doesn't make my brows look or feel crunchy, but keeps the brow hairs in place. And it's almost time for me to get a new one. It would have been my third one that I purchased all year. Yes? Yeah, my third one. So she's solid. Oh, I forgot my color corrector. The Bobbi Brown color correcting stick, the shade that I have is dark peach, is the best color corrector, in my opinion, on the market. Here's the thing. Cream products are amazing because they stay in place. They don't bleed. They don't mesh like too deeply into the skin where they wear away too much. They stay in place. So this is a color correcting stick. So when I apply this to the face, girl stays where she's supposed to be at, evens out the complexion, tones down my redness. But this shade I really enjoy because if I'm going for like a very quick makeup look, there have been times where I've applied the color corrector under my eyes and that's my concealer. So it color corrects and neutralizes the darkness under my eyes, but I can also wear it as a concealer if I really don't feel like doing the most throughout the day with my makeup. Or it can just be a traditional color corrector that I apply first and then apply another concealer on top. But I would say try out their formulation, especially if you find that liquid color correctors don't really cover and stay in place. Especially if you feel like I have a color corrector, but I feel like I still see some darkness peeking through. Give it a try. I'm telling you, give it a try. We have some recommendations to grow your lashes and your brows. Grande Cosmetics. I have been using both of these products since January, so we've been using them now for almost 10 months because we're basically in November. And my lashes and my brows have made leaps and bounds. Like, my lashes have grown in length and volume to the point where I don't feel the need to wear falsies because, like, it does what it needs to do, and I can just apply mascara and it looks great. I am wearing falsies today. But I don't feel the need to always have to wear falsies when I'm wearing more of a glam look. Same thing with my brow. Like, I'm actually getting my brows done a little bit more often because my brows are growing. They're growing in thicker and it's just amazing. So highly recommend these two products. Grande Cosmetics just sent over their new formulation of their lash serum that's for sensitive eyes. So I haven't started using it yet, but I will start to use it soon because I'm almost out of the lash serum that I'm working on, which is the original one. But this one is supposed to be great for people who have more sensitive eyes. You can also use this one during the day, whereas they recommend using the original one at night. Honestly, I use it during the day. I've had no problems with it. But this one is actually, more so recommended to use it during the day. And you can use the sensitive formulation day and night, whereas the original formulation, they only recommend using it one time a day. So I'm really interested to see how the sensitive one works. Let's get into some mascara, setting sprays, a couple of lippies, and we're done. So my favorite mascara of this entire year has been the Grande Cosmetics Tubing Mascara. Here's the thing. I ain't got time for my mascara to be embarrassing me, okay? I want to be able to cry, laugh, talk, do all the eye movement, and my mascara stays in place. So with a tubing mascara, when you apply the product onto the lashes, it literally adds like these little bit of tubes on the lashes, holds onto the lashes, and stays in place. You will not get this off unless you apply warm water and then lightly press on your lashes, and that's how you'll get the tubes off. So I have done all the things in the tubing mascara, and honey, we don't smudge, we don't go out of place, we do exactly what we need to do. I also really like this one because it adds volume and length to my lashes. So when I don't want to wear falsies, this is the mascara that I'm reaching for. And I still love some traditional mascaras, but when I ain't got time to think about what you gonna do and if you're gonna embarrass me in terms of a mascara, she's the one that I reach for time and time and time again. Plus, I feel like tubing mascaras last longer in terms of like product length. So you kind of get more bang for your buck with tubing mascaras. That's just my own little personal opinion. Setting sprays, honey, we got 4. Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Setting Spray is the #1 setting spray out of all the ones that I'm going to tell you about. Think of balm powder in spray form, and that's this product. However, if balm powder was a little too drying for your skin, this one actually may be the perfect mediator for you because it's gonna still leave the skin with a soft matte finish, but because, and this is just my own personal opinion, I feel like because it's in spray form, you've got a bit more hydration with the product. So it has Upsolite in it, so we're gonna blur the skin, keep the skin looking nice and having a soft matte look throughout the day, but to me, it doesn't make the skin overly dry. I absolutely love this product. And for me, because I have more normal skin, I don't feel the need to use the balm powder with this product unless I'm going for like the most fullest glam, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night type of look. A lot of times the blurring balm spray does wonders for me. And there have been times too where, like when I was telling you earlier about the Gucci Skin Tint, this is a spray that I used when I was like, I'm just going to put this on my face and apply a setting spray and go. This kept my skin looking nice with a soft matte finish all day long without having to add powder. And it's marketed as this is your powder in spray form. So however you apply your powder, that's how it's recommended that you apply this. So it's recommended that after you spray it on the face, you take your sponge like you saw me doing, press it into the skin, and that will really help to give you that blurred effect. But there have been times where I've sprayed this without pressing the product into the skin, still makes the skin look really flawless and blurred. So you must give that a try. The second favorite one I would have to say would be the One Size Powder Melt. Oh my gosh. This makes my skin, it just brings it back to life. If I ever use too much powder, or if it's one of those times where I'm doing like full glam and I'm putting on layers and layers of powder, I'm spraying this in between those layers, and like the skin just looks so smooth. It looks very flawless, but we don't have that cakey, dry look to the skin. She's amazing. Very close second, like very close second, but if this is #2, this one is 2.5. Pat McGrath's Blurring Setting Spray. So this is the one that I like to use at the end of my foundation. So I'll go in first with the blurring setting spray. This is going to add like the base, keep things like set and in place. Smooth skin, right? Okay. The Pat McGrath one adds me a little bit of glow, but not making the skin look overly dewy. So then I'll go in with this one when I want like more of like a satin look to the skin, right? Okay, that's why I like this one. She sets the makeup as well, but she gives me more of like a satin finish, whereas D&B is going to give me a soft matte finish. However, if I want to like amp up the look, like how I kind of did today, I'm going to go in with the Pat McGrath Glass Skin Setting Spray. Okay, now this is going to make the skin look kind of dewy, okay? Like if you want to look like Glow Queen, this is the one that you probably want. So I like to put this on the face in targeted areas because I don't want the whole face to look dewy all the time. So like I did today, we just hit up the high points of the face. And like even before I added my highlighter, you can see there's a glow here. Like she does what she needs to do. And the glow is buildable. So let's say like, and I've done this before. I was like, I don't feel like putting on highlighter. I'm just going to use this setting spray as my highlighter. I'll tat, let her dry. Tat, Glow Queen. Honey, tat for a third layer. And it's like, okay, what highlighter do you have on? It's so amazing how this product can build in terms of the glow. I absolutely love it. Those are my 4 favorite setting sprays, glow sprays at Sephora. Okay, lastly, for lip. Honestly, guys, I just have 2 recommendations in terms of products that like I've just been using time and time again. So I already told you about the Makeup Forever Artist Pencil. I use this. I keep like a smaller one in my purse. It's like my go-to lip liner. So that we've already talked about. The YSL Lip Plumping Glosses. I love these. YSL sent me a few, and then I brought myself a few. They're so beautiful. In terms of plumping, like, they're not overly plumping in terms of the sensation. Like, I feel a little bit of tingling sensation when I apply them, but it's not uncomfortable for me. It doesn't, like, make my lips hurt or anything like that. I love that even though these are a lip oil technically, like a lip oil gloss, I feel like we get a really good shine. So it's a twofer. Like I can get the hydration and moisturization from the oil formula, but it also looks like a gloss on the lips. So I would say like springtime and early summer, I wore these out and I still love them. Definitely recommend them. And then the other lip product and my last recommendation, let me just scan here to make sure I didn't leave nothing out. Yes, last recommendation, honey, the best glosses out there, Pat McGrath. You really can't go wrong with it. So this shade I have is Gold Allure. I think this is actually discontinued because I went to go look for it and I was like, nobody has Gold Allure, not even Pat McGrath's website. Oh my gosh. So once again, Pat McGrath did it. Victoria's Secret's fashion show was a couple of weeks ago or last week. Literally like Pat McGrath's lip gloss in the shade Earth Angel, talk of the town, sold out in like a day, right? However, I just saw that it's back in stock at Sephora. So if you want Earth Angel, click that link below and go and get it. But really, you can't go wrong with any shade of her lip glosses. So I have this one, Gold Allure, but like I said, I think she's discontinued. It's the lip gloss that I used today. But I have 4 other shades. My favorite shade also is Peach Perversion. And then we have Gold Blitz. Oh my gosh. Oh my stinking gosh. This one, I think this one is Divine Rose. The bottom sticker came off, but I think this one is Divine Rose. And then I have this shade called Bronze Venus. You guys, I'll swatch them really quickly. This one right here is Blitz Gold. Then we have Bronze Venus right here. This is Peach Perversion. We have Gold Allure, which I think this one is the one that is discontinued. And then this last one here is Divine Rose. So the Divine Rose is, I think, the satin formula. No, the high shine formula. And then the other ones, I believe, are the glitter formula. So, I mean, just pick up one. Let me know your thoughts later. I promise you, you won't regret it. And guys, that is it. Like I mentioned before, all of the products that I talked about are absolutely amazing products. They're tried and true staples of mine. And these are the products where when people make videos that say, if I lost all my makeup, which products would I buy back first? These are these products for me. So I hope that if you do check out some of these products, you really enjoy them. If you have tried some of these products, leave them down below. I'd love to see your feedback. I also like when we can talk about products together and learn from each other because, I'm only but one person. So if you've experienced some of these products and you want to share how you feel about them, leave that down in the comment section below. And comment down below and tell me the top 3 products on your Sephora wish list and what you're so excited to pick up. I would love to hear about it because, I love to be influenced by you guys. I'm going to be shopping the savings event, so I got a little list going on, but I'm always looking for other products to buy. So definitely let me know down below what are some products that you're interested in buying or products that you think I should check out because you absolutely love them. Thank you so much for watching. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad because we love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys. And I remembered my outro. Yay! See y'all later.